Steve, here at Wright's Farmers Market in Salisbury, many items are covered under one roof, but whether it's inside, outside, or even on wheels, lately that doesn't seem to be deterring farmers market thieves. Steve, crews are trying to put out what at this point is a smoldering fire as they finally get to removing all of that burnt grain that is in that third silo you can see back there behind us, and make sure that this operation remains safe for all the crews and the public. And while organizers are still calculating this year's proceeds, a spokesperson for the festival says Kite Fest has donated up to $35,000 to beneficiaries in the past. Live in the studio, I'm Logan Dubel, reporting Texas TV. Steve, the goal is to turn this into a mixed-use building, and Green Street Housing, unlike developers in the past, say they intend to complete this project. Inside the 3,000-square-foot Hearn building along Cambridge's Main Street, it's currently bare. But if Green Street Housing gets the green light, this old red building could become more than just a historic relic.
We are preserving a historic building where we are providing housing, we're providing office space on a block that desperately needs it, right? So I think this is a tremendous benefit to the community, and I think a lot of Cambridge feels the same way about that.
Commercial space is planned for the bottom floor of the Hearn building. That could mean anything from retail shops to office space. But on the top floor, 44 total units are planned as workforce housing. And that goes for the building next door. 10 units total on the top floor and commercial space on the bottom, fronting Race Street. Deborah White, who's lived in Cambridge for over a decade, says she's encouraged by the progress.
We've had ups and downs where it looks like something's going to happen and then nothing happens. So I think that people are really committed to making something good happen now.
Mark Simmons, a business owner right down the street, says he hopes it brings more people to Cambridge.
It would be nice to have more of that, to keep more people coming, because the more you have, the more people you'll have coming.
A facelift possibly coming to downtown Cambridge while preserving history. And tonight's meeting is just an initial opportunity for comment, but if all goes to plan, Green Street Housing says they hope to have shovels in the ground by early 2025. In Cambridge, Logan Dubel, WBOC News, Delmarva's news leader. As the Longhorns advance and the March Madness tournament heats up, we spent our Sunday afternoon chatting with Texas fans and even a brave Alabama fan about the basketball craze. Fans young and old lined up, anxiously awaiting the Texas women's basketball team matchup against the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Hopefully they get to the third round. We've been coming to every game this whole season, and it's just very exciting every time we come.
In a win-or-go-home tournament, the Horns fought to advance to the Sweet 16 for the third time in 4 years. The team's road ended here in the second round last year, despite having home court advantage and being a #1 seed. The case was the same this year, and by defeating the Tide, the Horns proved they won't repeat bad history. As UT pushes to fill the stands, students say they're feeling excitement, especially with free student tickets, courtesy of former Longhorn football player Michael Huff.
I was a huge UT fan my whole life. So, just getting to come to a March Madness game for free is super cool.
But for many here at the Moody Center, even if they're not rooting for the Lady Longhorns, it's still a meaningful and exciting atmosphere.
It's a cool experience. He's had a lot of cool experiences, and just being able to add this to what he's been able to experience and us being able to see him, it's like coming back home.
Some fans who arrived early even got a glimpse and some selfies with players from the men's team, who, despite getting knocked out of their tournament, came to cheer on the women's team, keeping Longhorn Nation energized. Win or lose, for some, it's all about the experience.
For us to be able to drive up here and come and see this and actually witness this, and again with my family and then my daughter who likes to play basketball, I coach basketball, it's a great opportunity to come and take advantage of.
Logan Dubel, reporting Texas TV.
Is WBOC News at Noon, Delmarva's news leader.
And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to WBOC News at Noon. I'm Logan Dubel, a nurse practitioner. The investigation continues after a plane crashed into the Tread Avon River near Easton. Looking here from Chopper 16, Maryland State Police say a twin. Well, it is day 3 of the Republican National Convention kicking off later this evening, and tonight is all about J.D. Vance, the new GOP vice presidential nominee. Republicans are largely expected to rally behind Vance, just as they have former President Donald Trump. Sabrina Franza has more details from Milwaukee. And good morning, Longhorns, for this Wednesday, April 24th. I'm Logan Dubel. And we're happy to be here with you bright and early with sound this morning, live in color. Yes. We've got it all. Let's do this. So breaking overnight, the Senate approved the aid bill that was sent from the House for approval on Saturday. The bill includes a $95.3 billion aid package being sent to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. Good evening and welcome to Tower Talks, the show where we take a closer look at stories affecting Texans, Austinites, and students right here at UT Austin. I'm Logan Dubel, and later this evening we will speak to student leaders about the primary election. But before we get to that, there is a lot going on internationally across the state of Texas and right here on campus. So let's get into it. I think the biggest thing that people talk about with Yellowstone is just the fact that it has so many fans in these polarized times that we're living in. Yes. It's one of those shows that just feels Americana. It's everything that people want without getting into the thick of it. What does it mean to you in this day and age to be part of something like that?
Oh my God.
Speaking of morning shows, you obviously know plenty about that, and so much of what the whole Today Show franchise, but especially the fourth hour when you come on with Hoda, people turn on your show for some of the brighter topics, things to inspire them, and just great stories. Obviously, there's so much negativity everywhere, all across the media and on TV, but your show brings something different to the table. Why do you feel like it's so important to do what you all do every single morning?
My gosh, Logan, you're the sweetest.
Experts say it's not tied to offshore wind development, and we'll leave that there. But nonetheless, you've mentioned to me and emphasized really over the past few years that a lot of the different federal and state agencies and leaders just haven't listened to local leaders like you when it comes to this issue, especially when we're talking about how close these turbines might be to the shore. Tell me a little bit about, for people who aren't familiar, your local perspective on this issue and why they should care.
I love being in Austin. It's amazing.
In the live music capital of the world. And I know you'll be back here, I think, in October. Yes. So tell me a little bit. I know you had the Broadway show for a little bit. Let's talk about that. Why was that exciting and definitely something different for you?
Well, I realized how hard they work on Broadway.
And when you think about all these younger artists who are here tonight, a lot of the CMT Next Women of Country and so many people who this is their first time here, putting out debut singles and albums right now, what's your message to them as someone who definitely knows the music industry quite well?